So I don't know if everybody knows this, but there is a huge, I think some people call it a debate, other people call it a controversy, other people still a schism. About when is the appropriate time to actually listen to Christmas music. So on one hand, there are the lawless people, if you will. There's no rules. We can listen to it whenever we want. And so, I mean, you could be like, it could be August. And all of a sudden, angels we have heard on earth. Others, and they believe in the rule of law. They believe that Christmas music should not begin until after Thanksgiving. Now, early in our marriage, we were on separate sides of the schism. Very much on the separate. So, Lauren, you prefer to what?
I prefer to listen to Christmas music when I feel like it.
That is true. And my preference early on, because I just didn't grow up like that, my preference is, no. You listen to Christmas music at Christmas. And so over probably certainly it's been the last 12 years, there's some things that have happened in my life that really softened my heart. That season for us, December, has some history. We went through a significant trial in December. And so Christmas music now reminds me in a real way of God's nearness, His faithfulness, His goodness. And so therefore those songs stir up in my heart gratitude and gladness for God and what He's accomplished and what He's done. And man, one of my favorite Christmas songs to just like crank it as loud as your little system goes is the song Joy to the World. And joy, like we covered when we talked about love, is a bit of a junk drawer word itself. Like some people, when they hear joy, they think happiness. But happiness and joy, they're not really the same thing. Like happiness is built around your circumstances. Like you're happy if you get what you want, and you're happy if you get the food that you want, you get the stuff that you want, the people around you are doing what they want. And so happy is really fragile and it doesn't really last long. But joy, in the biblical sense, joy is a deep-rooted gladness that really should be present regardless of life circumstances, regardless of what's going on, whether I get what I want or don't get what I want, whether people are doing what I want or not doing what I want. And joy really only comes to us in feeling secure and safe and in great union with Jesus Christ, because joy is hard to fight for. Because here, listen, we are on the cusp of it, aren't we? We're just a few days from now, it's on. So now how do we, because joy has to be fought for, Lauren. So how do we orient our hearts around joy here these last few days when it's time?
Yeah, it's time. When I think of joy, some things I think of in particular are kind of what's probably in your home right now. If you've got little kids, these kids that are just so excited about, whatever's coming. And part of that is because they know they're loved. They know they're loved by their parents. And so they can have joy. And I think that's something for us to remember as Christians, that first and foremost, we are sons and daughters of a loving God. And I think if we try to find any identity outside of that or any approval outside of that, that joy is really fragile because we don't have the freedom to feel like we are taken care of. We are loved for who we are, no matter what, because of Christ. And so I think that joy outlasts anything because there's nothing to shake it. Because we know that all things, even if hard things happen to us, will work for our good because we are beloved children of God. And so that's where joy's birthed. I think a lot about, these families that we've walked with in our own church who have lost children, and it's been really hard. And you would think that you would see them on the ground, never able to get up. And honestly, they probably had those moments and they're still having those moments. But in spite of that, I can see joy in their eyes, not about this happening, but knowing that they're loved and that God can even use really heartbreaking things to really root them into the love of God, and that he can work despite those heartbreaking things. And there's this hope that they'll get to see that little child again, and the hope that they'll be with their maker, that they will be with Jesus. And so I know that there's this joy that outlasts pain, that outlasts maybe our disappointment, that outlasts maybe shame we have, because it's rooted not in anything we've done or anything going our way, but rooted in that we are loved children of God.
Yeah. And so Lauren did just an exceptional job, honey, of like tying really all themes together. So you've been with us all month. We've just got a few days left here. And yet what Miss Lauren just talked about there is that if you put your hope in the right place, on the person and work of Jesus, not on this or that, but I'm putting my hope in this place, then you actually get the peace of Christ. And in that peace of Christ, having received the love of Christ, you then actually get to walk out in joy. So our hope for you, Lauren and I, when we think about you in your living room right now, wherever you're watching this right now, getting ready for these last few days, our hope is that you would experience all these great themes this coming Christmas as we celebrate the person and work of Jesus Christ made manifest in the birth of this little baby in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. God bless you. Merry Christmas. Thanks for being with us.
Merry Christmas.